good compost can produce good food, good vegetable for us. To do compost is the way to decrease the garbage or change the garbage into food. It's very easy, but in cold climate, maybe take too long. Some people who live in cold climate, they maybe spend 1 year to have compost for their garden, but there's easy way to make compost in less than 2 months. The technique is very simple. Just get what the material that we want to use to make compost: dry grass, leaves, and if we can avoid branches, it's better. And don't put a lot at a time. Small amount, one layer first, and then we spray with water. Make it very wet. The first layer, wet it very well. And if we have basin, we can put water in the big basin and then drop and grab the dry leaf and push in the water, and then we can put in the compost bin, and then keep doing like that. If we don't have basin, just use water to spray. Make a thin layer every time to make sure that every part of the leaf wet very well. Make it wet very well. That's the key thing. Because many times we add a lot of leaves in there in one time and water on top. It never wet in the middle of the compost. The water will not make every part wet. When it's not enough moisture, it will not decompose. That's why it takes so long. In tropical, it will be easy because we have rain. We have a lot of moisture. It can work well in that way. But in cold climate, or even if you live in tropical, if you want it to decompose fast, make sure that every piece of leaves are wet. It's wet. When it's wet, it will decompose less than 2 months. If we can separate leaves, it will be faster, like straw, grass, or any soft leaf can decompose in 1 month. Any hard leaves, big and hard, it can decompose in 2 months at least. So if we put branches in there, it will make it last. It take it longer to decompose branches. I start this compost pile at the beginning of April. It's very cold here. The snow have just melted. So I water it very well, make it wet, and then every day I will put leftover from the kitchen in there. Eggshell and leftover vegetable and anything, just throw in there. Keep doing like that. Only almost 2 months, when we open it, it will look like this. The top part will not decompose yet, but the bottom is completely decomposed. So I scrape the top part off first. That part is not decomposed because on top it can dry fast. That's why take that part off and we can get the bottom part of it. That's perfect compost. I start at April 1st. This is May 25th. Almost 2 months, but it turned to very good soil. Very nice, soft and light. And there's a lot of worm in here too. Tons of worm. Many people who love fishing, they have to buy the worm every time. But if we have compost pile like this, we have tons of worm for fishing. So compost is not only good for gardening, it's good for fishing also. This kind of compost is good to use it immediately. Don't let it dry. Use it while it's still wet. A lot of worm like this, put in the bed as thick as you can. If you have a lot of compost, just make it very thick, and you can plant on top of them. You don't need to add anything in the garden anymore. They will grow very well, grow faster than you want it. It's very fast. So compost is a gift from the garbage. It helps us to have very beautiful vegetable after that. I'm too lazy to separate the sticks at the beginning, so I just let them decompose together. And when it decomposes like this, I can take the stick out later. Either way, you can do it. Either way, that's easy. The good compost always have very good smell. The smell will be like a smell of mushroom, because what they grow very well in the compost is this mushroom. There's a lot of spore or mycelium of mushroom in there. They help to digest all the leaves and everything in there. So it's nice. It's nothing disgusting at all. We just change ugly garbage into very good compost. If we have good compost, we don't put compost many times. We don't need to take care of them much. Just add a lot of compost in the bed and sow the seed over the compost and water. They just grow. We don't need to do anything after that. So whatever grow, they're happy because they have a lot of food. So the taste of vegetable will be totally different from the taste of the same vegetable that we got from the market. Compost is easy. It doesn't take a long time. So if we don't throw away garbage from the kitchen or leaves around the house, it can turn to good vegetable like this. It's better.